Welcome to another episode of Sensu Pop Deck Profile. What we have for you today, as you can see on the board right now, on the playmat right now, we're gonna be playing with the Frieza cards. So a fellow player in the DBS community sent me this deck, and then when I first saw the deck, I was like, whoa, what were you eating, man? Because he's playing with the Frieza engine, which we can all agree that is something that we don't really see very often or I've never really seen at all people playing with the Frieza engine. So he was trying to make the deck work, and I thought when I saw it, he sent me a 2-page written document on how to play the deck. So to be honest, it took me 3 weeks to be comfortable just to present this deck, because I was playtesting it and I had problems with it, because first week I just lost. I lost the 2 to 3 games that I was playing with, and then the second week I went back to him, we have some discussion, came back. On the second week I was losing again, so I wasn't comfortable with it, so I went back to him, make some discussion, make some alteration, and then on the third week, which was last week, this deck has never lost. So we are talking about playing against Ultra Instinct, Buhans, Cell Chain with Androids, Leader, Vegito. This guy just wins, and I have to say a lot of that attributes to the fact that there's a lot of surprise factor in this deck, because people are not used to play against this. They don't know when to Bloodlust, they don't know when to do anything or crushable anything. So this is it. They don't know even which card to pop from your board. So this is it. Let's talk about the leader, Son Goku. So I think most of us would have known his ability. His ability is this: that at the beginning of your turn, if you have no energy, you take one of your cards from your hands and put it into the drop area. You take 2 cards from your life and you place them as energy. This is mono blue, mono yellow, except for the 4 super combo cards. So it's pretty safe. You most probably will get your yellow energy. Alright. On the flip side, what you have is that at the end of your turn, you get to untap 3 of your energy back to active mode, and then if he attacks, draw a card. It's straightforward, right? So let's put it right here. So let's talk about one of the main cards, overpowering King Code. So what this guy does is that he reduces the cost of all your Frieza clan card by 2 if they are more than 5. So this card, it's a 5 if this guy is on board, and this card is a 3 if 2 of this guy is on board. So you want to have him on board. If not, you will never get to play this guy. Why? Because one of his permanent is that you can only play 6 energy. 6 energy, this is 7. He cannot come out unless you have this guy on the board. Do I have problems having this guy on the board? No, not really. I always manage to do that, because this deck, it's also really defensive. So even though you have a turn that you can't do that, you can wait for the next turn. It's okay, because this deck, it's very defensive. I have played against Ultra Instinct where my cards keep bounces it back, but they can only bounce me back that long before the combo starts kicking in. So let's talk about the other cards that we are playing. Cooler, the Tyrant. So these 2 cards are the main combo starter, but what I would do is I will explain how the mechanics, how the engine works. I'll just go through the cards that we will be playing. Alright, so we play 4 copy of this. What he does is that once per turn, you can remove 1 of your battle card from the game, not even in warp, right? It's from the game, and you can tap 2 of your opponent's card to rest, and then you get to pick 1 of your cards from your drop area and bring it back on board. Alright, so once per turn. This is not comes into play, it's once per turn. So this is the 2 main cards. Some of the other cards that we will be playing is we play 4 copies of Mecha Frieza, the returning the returning Terra. So what this guy does, here's a dual attack, and what you can do when this card comes into play, you can discard a card from your hand, and this card gains double strike, and also you get to pop 2 of your opponent's battle card out in rest mode out. So there's a good synergy between the 2 of them, because this guy can set 2 of your opponent's battle card into rest mode. This guy comes in and pops it. So you want to pick this guy from your drop area back here. One of the very nasty card to play against, full powered Frieza. He's a 6 energy, he's a blocker, he's a triple striker, and when this card is when you activate this card's blocker, what he does is that he restands immediately. So this is a multiple blocker in one turn. So when this guy comes out, he is a terror against apes, because apes, they try to swing at your leader, they get to restand, yes, but this guy gets to restand also. So if they don't combo, waste card and combo themselves out of this, they have to deal with him the next round too. So it's basically a standstill, because apes usually swings at 20, you are 25, it's easier to protect yourself with this blocker. So if I'm playing against apes, this is the guy to bring it out on the board. One of the surprise, it's this double striker. When he comes into play, what you can do is that if King Cold, it's in your battle area, you get to, what he does is that you get to put 2 cards from your hands, 2 battle cards into play. You get to, their effects are negated, right? And you cannot play Frieza. But what he can do is he can put 2 cards out into play. I will show you which are, there's only 1 target for this guy. So if a certain condition of fulfills, this is the guy that I want him out on the board. Like I mentioned again, I will show how the mechanics works. More targets for your King Cole is this guy. So double strike, and when he comes into play, take a look at your opponents must review their hands, and then you get to play 2, is it 1? You get to choose 1 battle card among them and play it in rest mode. So what you want to do is play their super combo in rest mode, so that they are short of 1 super combo. Usually this guy comes out at the end game, where I want to swing, I want to calculate what are my chances of winning, and then I want to reduce their chances of using a super combo in their hands. Last but not least, this thing, I have never really evolved, Xeno evolved with this guy. We're just playing it for his triple strike, alright? So, the rest of the cards. We are playing 4 copies of Youthful Boma. And we are playing 4 copies of No Opening Sun Goku for Self-Awaken. Your super combo, we play 4 Crushable, and we play 4 Negates, right? More defensive cards, we are playing 4 copies of Explosive Spirit Sun Goku. What is interesting here is that because we can't Sugesh, this leader is blue, right? We can't Sugesh. So how do I always, and I thought about how good is this card without Sugesh. The truth is, it's pretty good, because your opponent has to swing. They have to swing, so if they are swinging, they know that they are dead, because most probably you will have this guy in your hands and you can pop him. Just like that. And if you have the other Frieza in your hands, this guy, you get to pop him too. So your opponent is very afraid to swing, because when he swings, he knows that his good cards are almost dead. So this is a pretty good card, and then once he comes out, it's also a blocker for you. Even though it's at 10k, most probably it blocks you 1 time, but it is still good enough. He is a really good card, play him. But the biggest surprise that you have for your opponent is this guy. King Cold, Father of the Emperor. What this guy does, he is a double striker, he has revenge, and he is a counter battle card attacks. So when a certain battle card attacks, you pay 4, which is a lot, but you always get 3 here, right? So I played him so often, and then I take out cards like Buhan, I take out cards like Ultra Instinct, because they thought that they are safe. They really thought that they are safe. But this is a counter battle card attack. When he comes out, you switch the target of the battle card to him. Whether this card survive or not, the other card will die. So when people swing with Vegito, when people swing with their the rapid onslaught Son Goku, bring this guy out, destroy their target for their evolve, right? And also, when you play this card, you get to choose one of your opponent cards and switch it to rest mode too. So more than just that, it disables another attack in your opponent's turn. So this is a really good card, and this is the surprise factor that wins me the game all the time, because they thought that they're safe. They swing with their Buhan. Ta-da! This is it. You're dead, right? Their main guy is finished. I can take 2 of my life, or I can combo out of this, but usually they don't want to combo because they are they kind of lost it, right? Because they know that their main card is dead. Alright, so those are all the cards, but now I will show how the whole engine works, because this really takes some explaining, so bear with me. What you want to do always is, you always need King Cole to be out here, because only with him you can cast out all your other cards, like this guy at 5 energy. So if you have this guy in your battle area, cast him out. We have a lot of small little cards, like we have all these small little cards in the battle area. Sack one of this, take it out of the game. Depending on the situation, you choose what card you want to bring back from the board. If I manage to switch the opponent's battle card into rest mode, right? The obvious answer to bring out is this guy. Because when this guy comes out, he pops the cards in rest mode, and then he has dual attack and double strike. But if you need to survive and you need to play a very defensive game, this guy is the one that I want to bring it out from the drop area out, because this guy is a triple striker, but he can help you to swing for the win. But he is also a blocker, and a very good blocker at that. A 25k restand blocker, right? Every time you activate his blocker, he restands. 25k, really good against decks that swamped you, and very good against apes. I find it extremely good against apes. The reason why, it's because they're swinging at 20. They want to swing at 25, then bring out their big guns. I think King Vegeta apes, it's 25. And if he wants to swing against that, then this guy comes out. So it's like a bait tactic. You want to bait him to swing at something hard at you before you bring this guy to take away any chance of them having a barrier, right? And it's so much easier to combo out of an attack when you're 25 than you're 15 with your leader, right? So if there are apes keeps on swinging at you, bring this guy out. If Pan swarms you, bring this guy out, because this guy is 25. This, it's usually for the end game. I don't really bring it out from my drop area. I bring out from my hands usually, and it helps you to like take away their super combos, right? And this, it's usually from the area from the drop area for this triple strike. But there is a situation that you can make the whole thing worse, even worse for your opponent. So imagine you have this guy, right? And what you have in your hands, oh man, it's really messy here, is you have 2 of this in your hands. And earlier on, you have sent Where is the... If you have this 2 in your hands, I would send this guy to the graveyard, to the drop area. So what you want to do is bring this guy out at 5 energy, use his ability, tap 2 to rest mode, bring this guy out. This guy lets you bring out 1, 2, up to 2 Frieza clan cards that are not Frieza, so they cannot be Frieza. Bring out this guy again, even though it negates the skill. But this is not when it comes into play. This is once per turn. That means now, in 1 turn, your board present is this: a double striker, a double striker, a double striker, 30, 30, 30. Swing for it. Your chances are, most of the time, you get to destroy your opponent. If not, just wait for 1 more turn. Defend yourself with 1 more turn with all the defensive options that you have. And what you can do is, the next turn, swing. And maybe if you have this, swing. And then discard them, activate the ability, and bring either this guy out or bring whatever cards you have, right? You can bring this guy out from the drop area, or you can bring another of this guy out from the drop area. So this is once per turn, so it doesn't matter if its skills is negated, because next turn you can bring out even more. You swing, swing, sack, sack, bring them out. So it is a really very powerful push at the end, and it doesn't take much just to reach there. Your opponent just needs, you just need this guy on the board before you can swing with all these guys. Situational, yes, but it's one time situational, just 1 turn situational. So this is the deck that I have for you, and to be really honest, I mentioned it again, last week, since I kind of figured out how to play this, I've never lost a game. And we are talking about against Buhan, we are talking about against Cell Chain, we are talking about Ultra Instinct. This guy just wins it. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a very special and interesting deck, and I hope you have fun with it, and see you next time. Alright, ciao.